At 2:17 a.m., Daniel was still staring at the same sentence on his laptop. Not because it was difficult, but because his mind wouldn't let him move past it. His chest felt tight. His thoughts were loud. And the silence in the room somehow made everything worse. After a long moment, he closed the laptop without saving. Not because he didn't care, but because thinking felt heavier than doing. That was the moment Daniel realized something was wrong. Daniel was doing fine by most standards. He showed up. He passed his classes. He stayed out of trouble. From the outside, nothing looked broken, but inside his mind was constantly running, replaying conversations, imagining futures, questioning every choice before he made it. He didn't think of it as anxiety. He thought of it as responsibility. He believed that if he just thought enough, he could avoid mistakes. Then came the deadline. A project he had weeks to finish. One that actually mattered. Daniel kept planning how to start, rewriting outlines, second-guessing ideas, waiting for the right moment. The night before it was due, he froze. The project was unfinished. He submitted something rushed and incomplete, and he knew it immediately. Not because he wasn't capable, but because he never let himself begin. When the result came back, it confirmed his quiet fear. "You could have done much better." That sentence stayed with him longer than it should have. After that, Daniel became quieter. Not in a dramatic way. Not in a way most people noticed. Just tired. He stopped joining conversations. Stopped making plans. Even simple choices felt heavy, like they carried consequences he couldn't afford. His mind treated everything like a permanent decision. And slowly, thinking replaced action. The more he thought, the less he did. The less he did, the worse he felt. What bothered him most wasn't failing once. It was the feeling that his own mind was working against him. One evening, Daniel spoke to someone older, someone who listened more than they talked. After a long pause, the person said, "Your mind is rehearsing problems you haven't been asked to solve yet." Then they added, "Thinking is useful, until it replaces living." That was it. No long lecture. No dramatic advice. Just a sentence that finally named the problem. Daniel wasn't broken. He was stuck in rehearsal mode. He didn't suddenly stop overthinking. But he stopped waiting for certainty. He started choosing small actions over perfect plans. Instead of asking, "Is this the right choice?" he asked, "Is this a reasonable next step?" And slowly, the noise lost some of its power. Not because life became clearer, but because he stopped demanding clarity before moving. If any part of this story felt familiar, it's not a coincidence. Overthinking often looks like responsibility on the surface. But underneath it's fear of moving without guarantees. And guarantees rarely come. In the next videos on this channel, we'll explore simple ways to step out of that mental loop, calmly, practically, without pressure. You don't need to solve your whole life tonight. Sometimes, the most important shift is choosing to begin.